Sure, by all means. So Accesso was listed originally in London in about 2000, and we started as a queuing business called Low Queue, which some investors will remember. I joined the business in 2010, and since then we've made 3 acquisitions of 3, we believe, complementary software platforms. So those are, in no particular order, a general admission ticketing platform called Passport, which has been in the news recently. We've just sold it to Merlin Entertainments globally, which helps drive ticketing sales and online sales for attractions like theme parks and zoos, and the World Trade Center in New York is a recent client, that kind of attraction. We have another product called Seriousware, which is a point-of-sale and guest management product, which started life in the ski industry, and in fact we're probably the dominant supplier to the ski industry in North America, a solution that drives the tills and the various commercial activities that you might find in a ski resort, and helps the ski resorts look after their guests, and we hope in an efficient and effective way. And finally, at the end of last year, we bought another ticketing business called Showware, and Showware differentiates from Passport in as much as it is what we would describe as an assigned seat platform. So it takes guests to a seat at a sports match or a concert. So if you're in Sao Paulo this weekend, for example, we're ticketing Rod Stewart at an enormous stadium in the middle of Sao Paulo, all the way through to the Calgary Philharmonic and ice hockey in Seattle. So those are the assets we have in the business, and our broader strategy is that we should help venues drive more revenue for their guests by providing them fantastic software in which we invest heavily every year, and that our commercial model with them, that we just charge a little bit every time we help them make money. So every time we help them sell a ticket, we ask them to pay us a bit of money, or every time a customer uses a queuing product, we ask them to share the revenue we create jointly together. And our business is just to do more of the same at venues all over the world. Broadly, it's colossal. Many billions of tickets are sold each year across sectors like sports events, live music, theme parks, water parks, zoos, museums, and. We define our customer base sort of casually as a place you might go with your friends or family at the weekend to have a lovely time. Not just the weekend, during the week as well. And if you think in total of the number of theatres alone in London selling tickets every night and delivering guest experiences, it's colossal. So in terms of where we focus, I suppose our heartland markets are theme parks and water parks, are live music, increasingly live music, ski resorts, of course, all over the world, and increasingly museums and sort of large cultural attractions. And for some reasons unknown to me, we seem to be getting a bit of a presence in very tall buildings. So the Seattle Space Needle, which is the biggest building on the West Coast, and the World Trade Center, the Freedom Tower in New York, and on the East Coast are both clients now, and we're selling tickets for those venues. So it's a huge range, and the market is, we're not even beginning to touch the sides on any one of those verticals, I'm pleased to say. By all means. So this is our Accesso Passport platform, and that does a range of things. There's a range of products within the platform itself, from an e-commerce platform where we help guests buy, we hope, in an elegant way online. So giving a good e-commerce experience, whether that's on your smartphone or whether that's on your tablet or on your desktop at home, and also the software that helps a venue at their front gate. So whether that's the software driving the tills that the venue are running at the front gate, or whether that's the mobile iPad point of sale, which you can use when you've got lots and lots of guests and you want to clear the queues through quickly to get people in, or whether that even the software that's driving the kiosks that are where you can throw your credit card in and it'll chuck out the tickets that you bought previously online. So Merlin we've been working with for a few years now, both as a provider of our queuing products, but over the last 2 years or so we've been trialling with them the Passport platform, and at the end of July we're delighted to be able to announce that we're going to be supporting Merlin globally with the full range of our Passport products in all of their venues. So just to give a bit of context and scale to that, Merlin operate at the moment over 100 attractions, and lots of brands that people will know from Thorpe Park and Chesterton Weldon Ventures. They have the Legoland franchise around the world, which has been massively successful for them. And of course the London Eye here in London, and the Dungeons, and these attractions are in 22 countries, I think, currently, something of that order anyway. And we're going to be supporting all of them, which is of course well, we're delighted in the vote of confidence that we've had from Merlin, and delighted to be supporting a fantastic British operator like them, and looking forward to getting on with it. And we've started work. We're installing in North America, and I think shortly Australia, and we'll be going through those venues over the next kind of couple of years or so. Passport's just one of the 4 divisions, obviously, of the business. So I would say that, we're increasingly excited about the way that we're being able to cross and upsell into our customer base. So, for example, we bought the showware business at the end of last year. We've just gone live with our first customer, which is a complete integration of the showware ticketing platform and our Seriousware point of sale and guest management platform, with a customer in New Mexico, I think. And absolutely our strategy is that where it's appropriate and where it makes sense for us and for our customers, we'll try and introduce customers to technology from across our portfolio which they perhaps aren't aware of, or would like to upgrade from their existing supplier if indeed we're better, but we'd like to think we are. And if I look at our sales pipeline, we're seeing a very encouraging number of opportunities begin to start like that. And that's all over the world. That's not just North America, which is at the moment the majority of our business is North American. So Qbot is our sort of proprietary queuing product. It's a sort of Tamagotchi-shaped device, a wireless screen really, which is theme park proof. So you can drop it and hit your little sister with it if you're 8, and it'll still work. We offer now exactly the same product, but on an iPhone 6 or a Samsung Galaxy or anything. Actually, it's a web product rather than an app or being platform specific. And effectively, it helps guests stand virtually in line rather than physically in line. So we've got customers this year from Malaysia through to the West Coast United States, and clearly in Europe, who've adopted that technology, and we're very, very pleased that this big park in California have decided to set up and run with Qbot, and business trading there has started, and it's been extremely encouraging, I'm pleased to say. A wise man told me when I started my career as a public company chief executive that you absolutely need to make your numbers if you can possibly help it. So we think very carefully about the guidance we give the market and the expectations they should have of us, and to make sure that we are very confident we can deliver what we say we're going to deliver. And so it was after quite a lot of reflection through the first half of this year, seeing a lot of new business wins come into the company. I think we had 60 new business wins in the first half. And then, of course, we had a fantastic announcement in the Merlin arrangements that we've announced. And I think those together have given us the confidence to upgrade 2016 and to materially upgrade 2017. And we're hopeful, well, we're not hopeful, I think we're extremely confident in the guidance we've been able to give. And with luck, we'll be able to come back to the market on the back of more new business wins and upgrade again. Certainly that would be my ambition and my hope, but we'll see what happens. So I came into the market, as I said earlier on, about 5 years ago, and I was enormously struck very early on in my tenure by the fragmentation of the supply chain to this market in the round. And that struck me as being the opportunity, and the opportunity that to roll up a vendor who could reach globally, who could afford to invest in the very latest solutions on behalf of their customers, could support those customers in a meaningful way around the world. And that I saw as being the opportunity. So that's the business we've set out to create and are creating now. And we now find ourselves, I think, in the position where we have, I hope, a pretty significant competitive advantage over many of our competitors. who tend to be rather smaller than us. And on one level, it perhaps feels a little unfair, but I think this year we'll spend around 15% of our group revenue on research and development, which puts the number in sort of the early mid-teens of dollars, millions of dollars spent on R&D, which in many cases is considerably more than some of our competitors' turnover. So in terms of how we can continue to improve our product and how we can develop it in line with the requirements of our customers and help them deliver the best possible guest journey to their guests, I'm hopeful that we're really gaining momentum. And clearly, as we bring more expertise and skills into our company, the opportunity to share those experiences and skills across the broader group means if we're clever about what we do, we should learn faster rather than learn slower. And so we're putting a lot of energy into making sure that we get the best out of the brilliant people we've been able to hire and who've come to work for us.